Hello and welcome to the Cow's Den. I am Josh. With me, as always, is Matt. What's up, Matt?
Where's Will Smith when you need him?
Oh my God. And we are the Cow's Den podcast. As always, we talk comics, pop culture, nerdy shit, whatever we really want to. So, man, that was the Jimmy Kimmel, right? The Jimmy
Yeah,
Kimmel,
yeah.
that was what's her name?
Taylor Green,
Margaret Taylor
MTG,
Green. Yeah. Margaret Taylor Green. I don't,
and
dude,
Ted
I don't,
Cruz too. So
I just
the best of the best of
I
idiot.
don't, I don't even know that I want to comment on that
No, no,
because
no, no.
that's
It was
just
just a joke.
ridiculous.
Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
this is just ridiculous. But yeah, we are the Casting Podcast. We talk comics, pop culture, nerdy shit. This is episode 30, freaking three, bro. 33. I actually don't have a whole lot in the way of comics this week. I got a little backed up on comics because I got so caught up in a video game that I'm going to talk about later. But the one thing I want to talk about is Flashpoint Beyond. We talked about how they did they did the Flashpoint little collection that we talked about, right? The 1 through 3 of the
Batman.
of the Batman. Yeah. And I didn't realize that's what that was because apparently I never went back and read the Batman story for Flashpoint. But they actually did release Flashpoint Beyond Zero. Now, Flashpoint Beyond is the official sequel to Flashpoint. And they on Wednesday released issue 0, which is like the prequel issue. It's not issue 1, it's the lead in, the prelude or whatever to it. Holy shit, dude. Do you remember
So are they going to
Flashpoint?
ruin the movie? Like, aren't they doing Flashpoint movie?
Well, that would be the original Flashpoint, technically.
No,
This
I
is
know,
like,
but isn't Flash's new movie going to be called Flashpoint?
no, it's
Or what
just
is it
Flash.
called?
It was just called the Flash.
Okay, I was thinking it was Flashpoint.
It's supposed to be based around Flashpoint because it is about
Right,
him going back, but like,
right. But
because I
this
mean, you
is
got
based
Michael
on that
Keaton back,
comic.
but
Okay.
this is just it's just a sequel to the original comic, and I'm sure it's just meant
Yeah.
to build hype for the movie and stuff like that anyway. But shit, dude, like, do you remember how Flashpoint ended?
No.
Okay, so without spoiling too much,
You can spoil it, man.
Barry goes back. The biggest thing about it is Thomas Wayne. Thomas Wayne's character, because Flash goes back, instead of Thomas and Martha dying, Bruce dies, and so Thomas takes on the mantle of Batman.
Yeah.
He's a fucking ruthless Batman, though. And then Martha is the one who goes crazy and becomes the Joker because her son died, which is, I love the dynamic of that story. Anyway, so
But
this
hang
is a
on.
sequel to that.
Hang on. The only Flashpoint that I know of is Flash's book in Spider-Man. It's the name of his book in Spider-Man.
Is it? Did he call it
It
Flashpoint?
is.
Oh
He
my
calls
god!
it Flashpoint. Yep, I saw that. I was like,
Flashpoint reference in Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
That's amazing.
Yep.
That is amazing.
But go ahead,
no, yeah, I lost my train of thought there. So no, he thinks the whole point, like without spoiling too much, is the whole point is that at the end, they figure out a way to go back and fix everything, but Thomas and Flash and all them will agree to I don't know, essentially they go back and agree to fix everything to put everything back, basically. But when Thomas wakes up, that the whole point of this is that when Thomas wakes up, he's like, I'm supposed to be dead. I'm not supposed to be here. Why the fuck am I waking up back in my own place and everything's normal? Like, this shouldn't happen. This shouldn't be here. So he's up and he's trying to figure out why, and so what he his first thought to do is to grab the Barry Allen from that time, force him up to the top of the building, which again, this all kind of happens in Flashpoint. He forces Barry from that time up to the top of the building to make him become the Flash, to get him electrocuted. And that's what causes him to, like, I don't know, all of it to kind of come together. Man, it's been a while since I read it, so I don't remember all the details. But he takes him up there this time to kind of re-kick him in, the new one, even though he's like, he doesn't have any idea what's going on. Straps him in, takes him up there. Somebody breaks the formula that he's trying to use to turn him into the Flash right as the lightning bolt comes to hit, and the lightning bolt just fries Barry Allen. He's dead. So nice. The way they lead into it is Thomas is like, I gotta fix this. I gotta figure out what's going on. We're gonna get a Flash, and then he gets burned and killed. Like, that's the way they lead into it. I was just kind of like, holy shit! Like, it was very intense, very from start to finish, just like holy shit. So while I was hyped for this, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting it to just boom, 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 and each part of it was just intense and crazy, awesome. So highly recommend it, dude. Definitely check it out. On the other end of it, the only other comic I had was Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 10. I love the series. I love the writer. This, however, I would say is one of the issues to where it's like, I'm not saying it's a bad issue by any means, just not a whole lot happened. Yeah. Right now, Lex is trying to accuse John of killing somebody, basically doing what Lex does and trying to come to the public and say, we don't need a Superman. We don't need Superman. And not only that, trying to straight up accuse him of murder and stuff like that. But then Lois is there to kind of step in and be like, Lex, you're fucking stupid. Back off. Like publicly embarrasses him, basically. Mm-hmm. And that causes him to back off. And then the only other part that happens in the story is that John comes out to Lois. So John has come out to everybody else, but he hasn't come out to Lois. And so he comes out to Lois, and of course it's Lois, so she loves him and embraces him. And, and like, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the issue. It just not a whole lot happened. It just seemed like it was just kind of a, and it did cover him coming out to his parents, to Lois. So, it did progress the story. It just was a bit of a filler issue in a way. Still, obviously love the story. Recommend grabbing it though. All right, so then we, as a family, because we do stuff. We watched Sing 2. Did you watch first Sing?
I did.
It had the only character that did not return for 2 was Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
With just a little mouse, his little character. And I love Seth MacFarlane, but don't like. It almost felt better without him there. Like he almost, it almost not having and not Seth MacFarlane, like the character's story, almost having that little character not there, almost felt better. Like I was surprised because I honestly felt like I liked Sing 2 better than Sing 1. So if you liked the first one, definitely recommend checking out the second one. But that's all I'm really gonna say about it is if you like the first one, definitely recommend checking out the second one.
Nice.
Yeah. And then you guys know I talked last episode. I was watching an Amazon show called Upload. It stars Robbie Amell. It's more chill, more laid back in terms of the story of it. But I did finish season 2 on Amazon. Season 2 definitely ramps up a little bit. It takes kind of the laid back story and kind of ramps it up a little bit. They go from just talking about the afterlife, this digital afterlife that you have, to like the season 2 is more so about this guerrilla team that wants to come and destroy this big corporate conglomerate place who controls our afterlife and this and that, a bunch of rich snobs. So season 2 definitely takes a bit of a turn in terms of the story. It gets a little more serious, but it doesn't feel like it loses its way. It doesn't feel like it loses its charm. So it's still very good. So again, if you like season 1, definitely recommend checking out season 2. And then the other thing was Ted Lasso. I love me some Ted Lasso. We watched season 1 of that. Checked out, finally finished up on season 2 for that. Season 2, if I'm being totally honest, I didn't think it was as good as season 1 for Ted Lasso. So it was still good. I felt like there was a lot of down this season. Like Ted spent a lot of time being down, a lot of time, and like there was a bit of weird scenarios just kind of thrown in. It felt like it wasn't bad, but it just didn't feel as good as the first season. So I do feel like it's still worth a watch, but like even the finale, the last episode of season 1, they had this big epic like game at the end. It was a nice build up and it was a big epic ending. And then for season 2, it just kind of felt like that last episode was just, the game wasn't that important. Yeah, they were coming back, but it's like the game wasn't as important. They just kind of threw in who was like, one guy's doing the penalty kick or whatever. His name's Danny Rojas, but it's like, he's doing the penalty kick, but there wasn't any emotional build up to that. So yeah, it was still good, just not quite as good as season 2.
Right.
Yeah, or season 1.
So not as much like comedy. you say? Or?
Yeah, it was a little more serious. The comedy
Yeah.
of it was still okay. The whole season itself, like Ted, who is Ted, spent the whole season having panic attacks and being down and depressed. And I get it. It's a character development thing. I get it, but it's like that's the point of Ted. Ted's the one we bring up. It's like Ted's the one who brings us up. And it's like I don't know. To me, it messed with the dynamic a little bit, but it wasn't not enough to say that it was bad or anything. So, but yeah, the reason I got so distracted on my comics, the last thing I wanted to talk about was I've been playing. It's called Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I don't know if I mean Matt, you played Borderlands, yeah?
Oh yeah, the first one, yeah,
And
and parts of the second one.
second one, yeah, and the third one, I will admit, was still good, but I think the problem with it was the hype. It got way too built up for me personally because it took like 6 or 7 years or something between 2 and 3 to come out. So it's like by the time it came out, I was super hyped for it. So I was a little bit upset about that one. To me, what up?
Have you seen the pictures of or the video of the Fortnite young kids that are like, oh, this video game copied off of Fortnite and it's
For
Borderlands.
Borderlands? Oh my gosh. No, I have not seen that. And
That's so
those
funny.
kids can eat a fart. So but
You know,
no, I think
man.
like but to me, this like is the most fun I've been had. The most fun that I've had playing Borderlands since Borderlands 1. And 2 was still great. I always felt like 1 was just so freaking good, and it felt like
Mhm.
each one was kind of like getting a little not bad, but they weren't progressively getting better. They were kind of like
Yeah.
just each one was as good. And this one to me has been the most fun I've had since playing 1.
Nice.
The idea of this is there is a game inside Borderlands. What is it called? It's called Bunkers and Badasses. It's Dungeons and Dragons. But obviously, it's like they literally take every Dungeons and Dragons type name and then just change it a little bit, so that they don't get in trouble. But dude, all it is Tiny Tina and a couple of friends play that, but you're a character that gets put into the board game, and so it's so cool when it like takes you out into the map area. You have this little like almost like a character oh my gosh, piece. I guess just a character piece that moves around through the map. And she got like big old head and everything, so it gives you that D&D aspect. But then when it throws you into the encounter, it gives you that Borderlands aspect, hardcore. But it adds like they've added magic spells and just all kinds of the D&D aspect to it. Not only that, it's freaking Andy Sandberg. Like I was losing my mind because one of the guys is Andy Sandberg. So literally throughout the whole game, you got Andy Sandberg commenting in your ear. Like you got Tina, who's one of my favorite characters from Borderlands, and then you got Andy Sandberg, and the other one is Wanda Sykes. Which I mean, Wanda Sykes is great.
Yeah.
But to me, Andy Sandberg was like I was so hyped for that. But yeah, it's blue. Honestly, it's been blowing me away. I've been loving every minute of it. I've been having so much fun with it to the point where I got kind of backed up on my comments so I couldn't put it down. So definitely recommend. I'm not done with it yet, so I don't want to give like a solid number rating on it, but it has definitely been the most fun I've had playing Borderlands in a while. So all right, so that is it for me. I do have some hype stuff I want to talk, but like I figured maybe we could cover that at the end or whatever you want to
Sure.
do.
Yeah.
So, but Matt, what's up, dude? What have you been? Oh, I don't know. Something might have come out on
So I was actually texting a friend of mine last night who is a diehard Spider-Man fan who still hasn't seen it, hasn't read anything. And I started, hey, my kids have seen it now, so you need to go see it. It's
Right.
on freaking DVD already. Come on. Watched it again last night. And I told, the friend this, I said, dude, you know how much I don't like Spider-Man. This is one of the best Marvel movies ever. It just is.
It is. It's sorry, good.
Even after watching it for the second time, I know we talked about we want to watch Batman again, to see really get a
good
chance to
solid
see
review.
Yeah. But man, watching this for the second time, I still stand by that this is probably one of, if not the best Marvel movies out there. Just all around. I mean, it was great watching, my kids, see all of this for the first time, because my oldest Krista, she also grew up with the Tobey Maguire ones and then went to the Andrew ones, and now it's on Tom.
Yep.
So being able to see their reactions to that, it's just awesome. So
and it's still an incredible thing to think that they pulled this off. I've had the movie ruined for me for the simple fact that there's one gigantic flaw in the story, but the movie is just so fucking good. The movie is so good. So that gigantic flaw, I'm going to say it. I don't care. It's simply the fact that all he had to do was make everyone forget Mysterio, because then that would have just made everyone forget that Mysterio told everybody that he was Peter.
Yeah, but
that would have been it. He could have just done that and boop. No, but then there wouldn't be a story. There wouldn't be a movie. It wouldn't have made sense. It wouldn't have, it wouldn't have been fun.
If Batman doesn't exist, do the villains exist?
Exactly. It wouldn't have been fun. So, right. Yeah. Right.
But yeah, dude, I 10 out of 10.
Yeah. I mean, it's enjoyable from start to finish. Yep. It really is. Yep.
But then one thing that I went and saw last weekend was Sonic 2 came out. So, and I know that you're wanting to go see it.
We were gonna go, but we didn't quite make it yet. Kid got a little bit sick, so couldn't make it.
And another reason why I brought up the whole Will Smith thing was because I don't know if you saw this, but Jim Carrey said that he's retiring. Yeah. And so they've already said that they're not going to replace him, right?
But they have somebody in line. Or no, I read somebody that like because his little minion guy or whatever would be right in line to move right up if he needs to, right? Like that's kind of what. Well, I read an article saying that if they want to, they could.
How much do you want it spoiled?
Oh, I don't care.
The new bad guy is going to be Shadow.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah,
and that makes
after the credits,
it's gonna get to a point though of like, when do you just make it a CG movie and just take out the
right?
Like,
right. No, and I mean, if Jim doesn't come back, I think they're gonna start leaning into, Shadow, and then some of the other. I looked them up, man. There's like 15.
All kinds of bad ones. Yeah.
But they introduced Shadow at the end after the credits.
That's awesome. That's cool.
I love Idris Elba. I actually think this one was better than the first one.
Yeah, like the game.
Well, and also I'm a diehard Knuckles fan, so I
thought 2 was the best one. Well, Sonic and Knuckles, and that's the thing. Sonic and Knuckles was honestly better than 2. I mean, shit. Yeah.
But I don't really like Tails as a character. I just never really did. But I mean,
he's the sidekick. Yeah,
he's the sidekick, but
he's an okay sidekick. I get you.
Yeah. Idris as Knuckles was fucking awesome. I mean, Knuckles stole the show.
Yeah.
But you still have eventually Eggman gets his robotic body, and it's
and isn't there gnarly. And you don't have to spoil this, but isn't there a giant fucking robot? I saw one trailer where there is like a giant robot. Like
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
when Eggman gets the emerald.
I think it was 2 then, where you are up in like this aircraft ship at the end.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
you're fighting like the mechanical one of you or something.
Yeah,
like I remember all that. I believe that's 2 because that's the first time you get like supersonic, isn't it?
I don't think so.
Does he go supersonic?
Yes, he does. He does. He does.
He goes Super Saiyan.
Yeah, and it's really cool.
That's awesome.
But it's I would say the first one was surprisingly well. I would give it like a 7 out of 10. This one I give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
It's very good. The
first one I honestly would give about a 7.5 to 8 out of 10 because I really enjoyed the first one. I thought
I did too.
Right.
But I felt like the first one, nothing against it. It was really good. You get more crazy Eggman in this one. And that's what I like.
And that's a good point. The Eggman origin story of 1 was a little, it could have been not comedy. It was bad. It was just a little, yeah.
It was more comedy, which I love Jim Carrey's comedy,
of course.
But like seeing the craziness of Eggman, Yeah. So that was, and what happens is he teams up with Knuckles trying to find the emerald.
Right.
And you got Sonic and Tails. But yeah, dude, I would give this an 8.5 out of 10. I mean,
That's
it was
awesome. It
really
was,
good.
and that was me with Sing too. I was surprised of like, damn, I wasn't even
Yeah.
going in really expecting much, and surprised at how much I enjoyed it. So
Well, and I really hope that fans go out and see it. So I know that here everything was packed. Everything was packed. We had to get lucky to get seats, which
nice.
is great. I
Yeah.
really hope that they do well so that they can keep making them. I love what's his name is Sonic.
I don't remember his name, but yes,
It's Park and
very well.
Rex.
Parks and Rec.
Well,
Yeah, he was the
yeah,
eccentric guy. I can't even
yeah.
remember his name in that even.
I'm gonna get high.
Yeah,
You know,
he was so over the
he,
top. But yeah,
yeah,
he's fantastic in the role. He actually
fantastic as Sonic.
fits it really well. Yeah.
They have a lot less of his dad, which I think is good. They have the right amount. I'd say they have the right amount. There
Of
is
the like backstory parts still or whatever.
yeah, like
Yeah.
there is still one part that is kind of cheesy, but overall, I would say that it's really enjoyable, and I would see it again.
I mean, there's still a few parts in No Way Home
Everything,
that are a little
yeah,
cheesy.
yeah. I mean, everything. So I would
I
definitely use it
honestly,
again.
there was one or two scenes at the very end of No Way Home that I'm gonna rewatch when I rewatch it, because I do feel like once it gets there, I'm kind of like, okay, guys, like we're there. Can we end it now? Like, because I feel like they spend a lot of time with them, like
So
kissing and making up and all that. Like, at the
well,
end,
so
okay,
okay, but like when they do that hug thing, that apparently is what Tom did when he first saw them.
oh yeah,
Like that was like the first picture they got, not in the suits or anything, but the meeting
just meeting, yeah.
and
And that's
hugging.
cool. Yeah, that's great.
You
I'm
want
just
you want to know what the very first scene they shot for that movie was?
what for the first movie or
Spider-
for
no way
oh
home.
the yeah the meme, yeah. I love how they put it that too. They were like, "Of course we got the meme." Like they posted that one for the Blu-ray when it was coming out or something. They were like, "Of course we got the meme." Yeah,
Yeah.
like we couldn't
So
have all three of them and not do it.
no,
Yeah,
yeah. So Sonic 2 definitely recommend. The other thing that I've been watching, man, that I've gotten insanely crazy about is a new show called Tokyo Vice,
Tokyo Vice. Yeah,
and it is based on a true story.
isn't that what's his name from Baby Driver and
Yes,
all those
independent.
YA
Yeah.
love story movies?
Yes. Yes, and it also has the dude from Godzilla's, the newer Godzilla.
Yes.
So this is based on a true story, an adaptation of a true story. But like, dude,
He's a
I love
reporter, right?
he's a reporter. So I love, let's start off with, I love Asian culture. Josh, I know,
Of
loves Asian
course.
culture.
Yeah,
I go to Chicago as many times as I can to go to Chinatown.
that's part of Chicago, bro.
Yeah. So like I really am into that. Now I'm prefacing that with, if you're not into that and if you're not willing to read a lot of subtitles, you probably won't like this show. It's already got like an IMDb
Anime fans will love it then.
yeah, it's got an IMDb rating of like 8.9. Like it's up there. The scores are really good on it. It's basically a Japanese noir. So you follow this main character who moved from Missouri to Japan to become a reporter. And it's all about, the fact of nobody likes Americans pretty much. And so he has to learn norms and all that stuff. But his main goal is to write real stories. And it's about the Yakuza.
Right.
And so it's about the 1990s Japan, where that was like apparently the height of the Yakuza and the start of the quote unquote nightlife of Japan, about, when everything is now ran from like 10 a.m. to 4 or 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. It's like a whole nother world in Japan. And apparently this is when it started. And so, man, I love noirs. Probably one of, if not my favorite genres. Excellent story, excellent writing, excellent character development, very informational, great acting. I mean, the main character, he's amazing. Like, it's just, I can't say enough about this show. I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. And it's not done yet. It's got
on
a
HBO,
lot
right?
of, yep, it's on HBO Max. It's an original series through them. You've got to be willing to read,
Right.
because 80%, 80 to 85% of the show is in Japanese. Unless you happen to know Japanese, then you're golden. So
Right. That's why I said anime
uh,
fans, either you've learned it by now or you're good with watching subtitles. So
yeah. So yeah, definitely. If you're into detective, film noir, drama, suspense, detective, because the main guy from Godzilla, he's a detective, so he's a cop.
right.
And so it's them working with each other and the balance between reporting, police work,
Police work,
and
yeah.
the Yakuza. So like the
Right.
cop isn't bad.
But it's like where's the gray area end? Like, yeah, he's in the gray area, right? Yeah.
Well, no, he's in the good area, but he understands that you're not going to get rid. One of his best lines is like, "You can't get rid of the Yakuza. You have to deal with them." And
Right.
so he does things to make it to where this one person stays the head of this town. So because he's a reasonable man and he
Versus
doesn't,
somebody else or something else. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's
So
understandable. Shoot. Okay.
yeah, and I'll tell you, dude, one of the craziest things is what he's investigating, what the journalist is investigating. It's I've never heard of something so bad in my life, and holy shit, it is downright like dictatorship kind of shit that
Damn.
like you imagine that it would be like Russian, like Putin would do this, or like
Right.
Saddam Hussein, or what the Yakuza, what this Yakuza group is doing and what he's investigating. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Do you want me to spoil it?
Sure. I don't care. I mean, I'll watch it,
So
but I don't care.
in Japan, they're all about honor and
Uh-huh.
not disgrace. But they have a lot of people in debt there, a lot apparently,
Okay.
and people borrow money from banks and all that stuff. Well, if the Yakuza are like they have a front bank and they have you sign this contract, and if you can't make payments, your rates increase, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But the contract, nobody reads the contract. It's basically a life insurance policy. And so in Japan, nothing is considered a murder unless there's a witness. So you have these people who are signing a life insurance policy for $1 million for a $10,000 loan. All of a sudden, they can't make payments.
So
They
they can
die.
kill him. Yeah.
And
Jeez.
then the Yakuza
They
collects $1
cash
million
out the
in
million
life
dollar
insurance.
life insurance. Jesus.
Right. So they're basically driving poor people to kill themselves. And
So they
it's
can
like,
make more money. Wow.
yeah, right. And it's so
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Damn. That's heavy.
yeah. So definitely would recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last thing was Moon Knight. It's going pretty strong.
Yeah. So we watched episode 3. Yeah, we watched episode 3. It was good. We watched 2 and 3. So I have one thing I want to say that I'm
Mhm.
slightly upset about. What I was worried about was that in episode 1, they wait until the very end. The way episode 1 was done was so significant. And that when they finally showed Moon Knight at the very end, there was a part of me that was like, well, now that they've shown him, I'm a little worried it's not going to hold up because they've given out the mystery, like. So I do feel like that happened a little bit in episode 2, but I do feel like in episode 3 they kind of switched it back to now you're watching it from Mark's point of view, and you don't know when Steven takes over. You're kind of like, what the fuck? And then it maintains. So
Yeah.
my complaint got handled in episode 3. Let me say that.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I definitely love it still. Can't
Fantastic.
wait for the next
I mean,
episode.
holy shit.
But here's the thing that me and Josh were talking off camera. The one thing that Netflix does way better than Disney, they drop the whole fucking thing.
Oh, see, I don't care about that. I kind of miss the weekly episodes.
I don't. I you know why? Because I want to binge what we're going to talk about next.
Oh,
The Big Pops. Big Pops. What trailers came out?
Oh yeah. The Stranger Things. Yeah. Fucking.
Or as my kids call it, Stranger Danger.
I will say though, I think that was one of the most metal trailers I've ever seen. Because So I was so torn about this part when I first saw it. Part of me couldn't decide if it was the cheesiest fucking thing I'd ever seen or if it was the most metal fucking thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
And so that was in the midst of the trailer. It's towards the end. You see who appears to be, from what I've heard, is a character named Eddie, but you see him just wailing on a guitar during the end of that trailer. But he's wailing on the guitar in the Upside Down.
Yeah.
And so it's like I couldn't, when I first saw that.
Is it Billy?
So when I first saw it, I couldn't decide if it was the most ridiculous, stupid thing I've ever seen, because there's a part of me that's like, that takes away the horror of it. There's somebody in the Upside Down just shredding on a guitar. I'm like, that took away the horror of it for me. However, upon a second view of the trailer, I couldn't help but be like,
it's fucking rad.
But it's going on with the red sky, with the clouds swirling and the lightning and the wind, and he's just
maybe
one of the most metal things I've ever seen.
Maybe he's pulling the bad guy too.
That's in so
trap.
And so again, it's from what I've heard, it's a newer character named Eddie, but like I'm very interested to see what it is and what happens now.
So I am so hyped that like I have goosebumps. Like I don't know if you can tell, but dude. If we were back at my house, you'd see the Stranger Things posters.
Oh yeah.
I definitely am a Stranger Things fucking fanatic. I was the most exciting news though was a few months ago when they go, oh yeah, season 4 is going to be probably the best season. It's going to be the penultimate season, and then we'll end it with season 5.
Right.
I thought you were new at 4. Fuck yeah.
Right. Well, and so I like the fact that they are describing it as like the beginning of the end. So the penultimate season, and I think that because of that, they're going to build up this season so big, because this is one of the first times that Netflix is finishing a fucking series and putting the money into it. So they now know, they're like, we know we're going to end it, so let's fucking end it. So
this is going to have 3 different main areas: Hawkins, Russia, and wherever the fuck 11.
The new where they relocated them. Yeah.
So like, and dude, seeing the scientists going to 11 and being like, dude, there's a war coming and we cannot win it without you.
Yeah, that's dude.
Oh, dude.
It makes me honestly, it makes me more pumped for season 5. Like it makes me more pumped to see how this is gonna end, what they're gonna do, because I'm so excited. I don't give a shit. There's so many memes out there about the kids being too old now or whatever.
Oh, fuck off.
Honestly, they're in high school now, and they're kind of handling it. And I do think it's funny because it's like you can tell they're at that like pubescent point where they're growing out of their clothes and shit. All their stuff is too small. It's like, okay, but that's the point. They're probably going to start. That's probably going to be addressed in the show. Is what I'm saying. Like,
dude, seeing Hopper.
Well, like his real name is Harbor, and his show name is Hopper. That's
seeing Hopper take that spear and light it on fire and take on that Demogorgon in a Russian gulag.
He was like, I'll help however I can or something like that. And I was just like, yes, dude, goosebumps legit. When I first saw that, I was like losing my mind about that. Yeah.
And so I've always said that, like, I feel like if Ghostbusters were to make a horror TV show, it would be Stranger Things. And I really feel like this is my childhood. You know, it's got so many things.
It's crazy how
we grew up in, you know,
in the way they're incorporated, in the way that it's, and even the horror aspect of it still like
feels 80s.
Modern. It feels so 80s. It does. It's just still done so well. And I think now, even with them adding that heavy metal, hair metal aspect to it, that's even more, because that's so iron. That's like, that was ripped straight out of an Iron Maiden cover, dude. Like, yeah. So, and that's why I was like, that's actually very, very fucking metal. So, I'm so.
What'd you say his name was?
Eddie. It's Eddie something. Just look at
Eddie Van Halen.
So that is the rumor, is that he's supposedly the fake version of Eddie Van Halen.
Oh man,
like their version of Eddie Van Halen. That's what the rumor is. They even say that like he the people he says he associates with throughout the show, or who had mentioned or whatever, they were like, it sounds like they're making it, that's Eddie Van Halen, but just their version.
Dude, could you imagine if him rifting is kind of like Mad Max, where he's like the hype man, and behind him is all the fucking demigorgons
and so that's what was funny is I was watching the trailer by myself, and my wife walked in right as he started straight on the guitar, and she was the one. She cracked up, and I go, "Yeah, what the hell was that?" And she goes, "Was that a guitar in the upside down? What the hell is that?" And my first thought was, "Oh, it's the dude from Mad Max. They just pulled him over. Like they just brought him over from Mad Max." But yeah, dude, honestly, that would be cool as hell too. If he started ripping, and also you just see waves of them coming in or something.
I'm hyped. It's been a long time since I've been this hyped for a show. And I don't get me wrong, I love Mandalorian. I love
oh man, I'm pumped for Obi-Wan too. That's coming out same day too.
I am too. But Stranger Things is the biggest entity that Netflix ever created.
That's true. Yep.
It's taken. I love the fact that it takes them, like, I know I just said I hate that you have to wait a week for an episode, but I love the fact that they take their time. It takes them 2 years to make a season. It takes them
well,
time.
And then they put it all out at once, so you get to binge it. So yeah, I get what you mean. It's not about time it takes between episodes, it's about time it takes to put into the show. So I get it.
It's one, and me and Josh have complained about it multiple times. Netflix does not know how to run their TV shows, and I don't know how other way to put it. And I still don't understand how it's one of the most valuable fucking companies in the world. But
it's because at the time nobody else was doing it, so they got the licensing from all these different companies, which they are now losing. Which is, dude, I don't know how much longer they're going to be able to hold it up, because their original programming doesn't hold them up. Like, it doesn't.
No,
so they're going to have to.
This is it. Out. I mean, because like they continue to cancel original programming
that people want, like the stuff that people want. Like, that's what I never get, is like, it's not stuff. They don't cancel stuff that's doing horribly. They cancel stuff that people really like. Santa Clarita Diet was
love that fucking show,
but it was doing great. It had great numbers. It had great reviews. There was no reason for it. Anyway, that's a
Cowboy Bebop too.
Whole different thing. Cowboy Bebop, I think they catered to fucking bullshit.
Yep.
Sorry, I will forever be mad about that, because I think they catered to the bullshit, whiny anime fans. I'm sorry. I love anime to death. I love anime. I don't like toxic parts of any fandom, and that's nothing to do with anime.
It's elitist.
It's the same with Star Wars fandom and Star Trek fandom, comic book fandom. The toxic parts, I don't mean to say I don't like that fandom. I'm saying I don't like the toxic parts of that fandom.
Yes. Yep.
But yeah,
because you can never make them happy, and they're always right.
You can never make them happy, and that's what sucks. I feel like they gave into that, and that's what pisses me off. It didn't get a chance to shine.
I really think it was way better than any other.
I thought it was fan-fucking-tastic, and I even watched it again and thought it was fan-fucking-tastic. I thought it was done really well, and I thought even the cheesy parts are done well. If you fucking sit and watch it.
I told you I only have one issue with that, and it's not a problem with it. It's a
rant though. So
I mean, the only thing that I had was like, how do you make a character like Ed come to life? So like, that's the only thing that I ever saw, but it wasn't their fault. It wasn't like they did it bad or they ruined the character.
Even that, when I sat down and I rewatched that scene probably 20 times now, because I tried to sit here and think, yes, how would you get in? So in all honesty, when I take the time and like think about it, like the first pop-up to me reminded me hardcore of like Tank Girl, the old school weird like hey, what's up? And I like it. I mean, I could have grown to like it. I could have grown to like it.
Right. It wasn't like it was a problem, and it wasn't like they did it bad. It was just like, I don't know how you could do that character.
Exactly. But like, I remember you saying that. You were like, it's just because you don't know how else they could have done it. It wasn't anything they did. It just didn't translate well, which again just wasn't given the opportunity to shine. Because if you look at it, the first time you see Spike, the first time you see everybody, the first time you see them, you're kind of like, but then they grow on you. That's the point of the show. The show, it really fucking grows on you. So, all right. I seriously feel like I'm gonna rant about that. It really pissed me off, dude. I to this day. Anyway, we were talking about Netflix and how Stranger Things, they're finally wrapping it up. They're finally gonna give it a solid ending, which makes me very excited because I know the guys who run the show have been fucking killing it, and I'm sure that they have something awesome planned for the ending. So I'm one way or another. I'm pumped for season 4. I'm pumped for season 5. I'm just pumped for more Stranger Things, man. I think that's about it, though. Yeah. Did you have anything else you wanted to cover, man?
No.
I was pumped for Kingdom Hearts 4. They snuck out a Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. To me, it was out of left field. That's the only reason it like really caught me off guard was because it was just a Kingdom Hearts like 20th anniversary thing. So they showed off a new like handheld game or some other game. And so everybody was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then suddenly they cut and they were like, wait, what the like, so it was kind of out of nowhere. That was really cool. It was a nice surprise. There's rumors that one of the shots is indoor, but it's not confirmed. But if they confirm Star Wars in that, I will lose my mind. I will lose my fucking mind. If Sora's running around with a fucking lightsaber, I'll lose my mind. So I'll be hyped when I hear that.
I will say, I don't know if you saw this funny ass story. It's been a while, but I forgot to talk about it last time. Did you see that there's a collection of Karen moms that are trying to boycott Disney for moving all the Netflix entities into Disney? Like Daredevil.
That doesn't surprise me.
But here's my whole thing about that. Disney has actually the best parental controls of all the fucking apps.
They literally alerted me when they did that. They alerted every account that I had on there. You were not able to log into the account before confirming, hey, just so you know, we put some mature rated shit on here. If you want to restrict that, you can do that now.
Yep. And they still bitched about it. That's my dude. We're fucking Karens. I swear to God, people just find shit to bitch about.
It's ridiculous. You can not only do that, but you can make another account strictly for kids with all kinds of locks on it. You can make it to where they can't watch the PG-13 shit that's on there, which is you'd be a fucking monster to do that, in my opinion. But like, how are you going to have Disney Plus and not let your kids watch Avengers? Like, what's wrong with you? But regardless, you can. Like, that's so stupid. That's so stupid.
And then also, I don't know if you saw this, but a little bit of recent news. Elon Musk is trying to hostile take over Twitter.
apparently they countered him with some sort of clause or some sort of thing where it's like, as if you can't take it over. If anyone tries to take more than 15% or something, then they just can't, or something like that.
No, so what it is like, if he had joined the board, he wouldn't have been able to take over. Now he has made an offer,
and I would not $46 billion or something,
54 billion, and I would not be surprised if they took it, because it's actually
but I thought I heard something saying that he can't. Like, I thought I read an update saying that they pronounced the board pronounced some sort of thing to counter that, so where he can't make the offer. But I don't know. know. I'm not paying attention close enough to that, if I'm being totally honest with you.
No, it's fucking funny.
Elon it's hilarious to watch. It is.
Yeah.
I do think that on one hand, I like the fact that Elon is such an advocate for free speech. I do love that about him. On the other hand, I do think that if Elon Musk takes over Twitter, he will do the opposite of free speech, and he will control just about everything that's being said through it. So
I will say this. I think that if he owned it, he would take it private. And then I actually think that he would make it a free for all. I really do.
And
it will destroy.
That's nuts. And that's just killing a company. Like, that's not even, I don't know. Like I said, I do like the idea behind him of him saying, like, I love that he had the balls to come out and say he thinks that Trump is good at Twitter because of the fact that Twitter is meant to start shit. Like, that is the point of Twitter, essentially. And I'm not saying I advocate it. I'm not saying I promote it or anything like that. But I love that that's essentially, and even in doing this, he's just proving, like,
Well, and
he's
this,
like, bro, I have enough money that I can buy fucking Twitter.
this all has to do with his lawsuits with SEC,
Right.
and he
Right. And that's what I
hates
mean. I don't
getting
want
told
to,
that he
yeah.
can't say certain things. And
Right. And that's what
so,
I mean. I love that about him, his
yeah,
advocacy for freedom of speech. And that's what I mean. I'm not saying I agree with Trump and any of that. I'm not saying I agree with any of that. I'm just saying I do love that about him, that he is such an advocate for free speech. But that said, I personally feel like if one man takes over Twitter, that's opposite. Like that's
yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
the man
really
is just I love the fact that he likes to just fuck with the system.
Yes,
Like I love
yes.
that. He tries again and again is like, well, I'm gonna prove how fucked up this is. Like I'm gonna prove how fucked up your system is. I'm gonna prove how fucked up this is. Like
now he's a billionaire, so I don't trust him.
And that's what I'm saying. Like of course I don't. Right. Like,
but of all the billionaires, he's pretty fucking good.
He's so funny. Fun to watch. So it's so fun to watch. Yeah.
Like I'm trying to take a spaceship to Mars. Did you not think I was going to be weird?
Oh, dude, I love how weird he is. I love it. Like I love whenever he gets an interview, something weird always happens, and I love it. I love it. Like I said, he is so much fun to watch. It's insane to see one man have the kind of money and control and power that he has. But I think that
he's a man child. That's what I love about it. Is that
that's
like most of them are all like most of them are all
that's
like,
what's fun about it. Yeah. Super strict, super he's the one just like, okay, fuck you
okay.
guys. Yeah. So
he's an internet troll,
Yeah.
He's a fucking multi-billion-dollar internet troll.
Yep. He's a multi-billion-dollar man child, and we love him for it. So but anyway, I think that we're gonna cut it on that because we're kind of going off the rails on that one. I think that's it for today. This was episode 33. Fucking shit. Hey, I'd like to thank our non-sponsor Roman Wipes, who we've never gotten a sponsorship for. So thank you, Roman Wipes, for not sponsoring us. If you ever need some decrease in sensitivity because you just go way too fast, get yourself some Roman Wipes. Unpaid advertisement. You're welcome.
You need to get fucking paid.
Thank you so much for listening, and you guys are watching or whatever. Thank you. You guys later.